Hi guys, Ape here of the Pocketbot Collective, and welcome back to Mercenary Mondays. And today we're gonna have a look at Mercenary Bug Bite. And if you don't know Bug Bite, then I suggest you head on over to Chris McFeely's channel and check out the basics on Bug Bite. Here we have him in his vehicle mode. A very cool looking car with blacked out windows and the Mercenary faction logo on there. I really like this one. Really clean looking car. The black paint looks good on it. I just wish they would have also colored the taillights a little bit, just to set it apart from the rest. But besides that, it is a very cool looking car. Now, it might look familiar to you because this is technically a recolor, retool of Hasbro's Cliff Jumper. And they also made a hubcap. And even the new movie Bumblebee shares the same mold, the same engineering as these guys. So technically we have here this mold used 4 times, but I can't hate Hasbro for it because it's a very fun mold to play around with, and it's a very well engineered mold. So yeah, let's talk about accessories. Bug Bite comes with 5 tiny accessories and a brown box. The box just has the Mercenary faction logo on there, has the Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy logo on there, and the name and model number, and he's apparently deluxe class. We'll get into that in a minute. But that's about it for the box. Just your standard brown Generation Selects box that they use for a lot of things. Accessory wise, he comes with these 2 blasters. They're black plastic but painted metallic purple. Very cool. Standard 5mm pegs. Plus you can attach them together and also attach the other pieces, because he also comes with this piece, which has a bit of purple on there and a lot of sculpting, which flips open. I'll show you what that's for in a minute, but you can also attach it here. And then he has 2 of these little pieces, which in weapon mode you can just stick to the side, for instance. Of course, there's tons of configurations, and there you have a bazooka. But in vehicle mode, what these pieces are for is there's some little slots near the front wheels. That's where these guys tab in. There you go. Then this big piece, it has 2 tiny pegs at the back and a big one in the front. Well, there's the big one, and the tiny one go in there. Just line that up and push it in. There you go. I like how they engineered that he's technically holding onto his own backhand. But there you go. And then the handles also have a little slot in there, and there's little pegs there. So they just tab in there and there. And then you have a white cliff jumper. Of course, these weapons are technically for the cliff jumper mode. For that one scene in that one episode where he's pretty much jet skiing on the water. That's what these things are for. You can also plug some blast effects into the back if you want there. And there you go. It's a thing you can do, but for bug bites, this doesn't do much, I think. It has nothing to do with the character. Like I said, they've done this mold a couple of times now, 4 times to be exact, and they've all come with the same weapons. That's the only thing I wish that Hasbro diversified, that there would be some weapons specific to the character. But that's nitpicking. It is a very fun mold. So let's move on to transformation. There's a little bit of parts forming involved, because the back end is technically a separate piece. Let me just pull this off. Come on, buddy. You need to let go. There we go. See, there's a little peg in there, which you can use for him to hold as a shield, or you can make it into his backpack. I don't really care for the shield option. I mean, it's nice that it's there, but I just use it as a backpack. Now, for the car mode, we untab the roof. We sort of split the front, so we can also lift up this panel, revealing his head. Then we can untab these from the sides. All right, there we go. And also for the other side, there's a little nub that sits behind the back panel, and then there's this bottom piece here, tabs into his thighs. It's a very secure one. And then we still need to take the arms out. There we go. Now we have an exploded view bug bites. What we do then is lift this up. And we'll work on his top section first. This panel just needs to go all the way down. These need to go up, and they're a little bit in place just by friction. This one has a bit less friction, but that's all okay, because this front piece has a ridge there and a slot. Can you see it? Right above the white part, and it also has these little shaped tabs there, which correspond with the ones on his shoulders. So once you click this into place, it's like a little jigsaw puzzle there, but that keeps everything in place. Then arms down, they're on a hinge and a swivel, obviously. Then there's a cut at the biceps, so you can turn around, and then hinge for the elbows, and he also has wrist articulation. Same for the other side, just turn around, there we go. Then lower body, flip it around, there we go. Then we have to fold these wheels down, technically, see? Same for the other side, which allows you to hinge the whole foot bit round. I'll also do it from the front. There we go. Then there's a little tab there, and just line the wheel up so that little tab can sit in between the spokes. And same for the other side. And then he's done. Head is on a ball joint. Legs are also on a hinge and a swivel. So you can go all the way out. 90-degree knee bend. No toe tilt or anything, but he has an insane rocker, so he can even do this. So yeah, very well engineered, very articulate figure. That's him from the back. It has a 5mm port there on the top, which this piece can plug into. There we go. Gives him a bit of a backpack, but also fills him out a bit. So there you go. That is Bugbite. Of course, he's got the Bumblebee head, but then that's what Bugbite is anyways. Recolor of Bumblebee, so to say. Although originally he stems from the GoBots line. But you can check that out all out in the basics on Bugbite. Weapons, let's bring them back in again. What I tend to do is just hold on. Put these pieces in there. Close this one up. Oh. Put it on there. Put it that way around, so he can hold it in his hand as sort of like a bazooka, and then give him the other blaster in this hand. And there you go. There is a Bugbite all done. Now, we need to talk about him being a deluxe class figure, because he's not. Deluxe class used to refer to the size, but Hasbro's previous deluxe class figures, sorry, let me just adjust the camera a little bit, was like this Ripper Snapper here. That was deluxe class before. This Sea Spray was Legend class before. So obviously he's more in scale with the Legend class figures than the deluxe class figures. But what Hasbro seems to have done is relate their classes to the worth of a figure. And because he comes with a bunch of accessories, he's now more in line with deluxe class figures than with the previous Legend class figures. Hence him being classed as a deluxe figure. But I think he scales well with Legends. There, of course, you can say something about his size, because does he not need to be smaller? Like Bumblebee is usually smaller. That's debatable. There's other versions of Bugbite out there. New Age did one, but sorry to say, I really hate the face sculpt that New Age put on their Bugbite. I think he was called Critter, if I remember correctly. And yeah, he would be a lot smaller, but I hate the figure. So for me, this is a fun figure. This is a well-engineered figure. So yes, he might be a bit big for the character. But for me, he's fine. He fits in with my other Legends. Because here he is with standard Iron Factory runabout. And yes, he's a little bit taller than him, but not that much. He's a bit bulkier, yes. And then here he is with Magic Squares breakdown. And for good measure, here he is with New Age's Prowl. So yeah, he's definitely a little bit bigger. I might have an issue with that if it was Bumblebee. But for a Cliff Jumper or a Bugbite or a Hubcap even, I'm fine with this size, really. Also, if you look in the Netflix Transformers Earthrise cartoon, there's a shot where he's next to Thrust, I think it is, and then he looks small. But then there's also a shot where he is knelt down besides Double Dealer together with Exhaust, and then they almost seem the same height. So yeah, I guess scale is in the eye of the beholder anyways. But let me pull these guys up for a minute. Hasbro's double dealer as well. Iron Factory's exhaust with a custom head. And let's bring in Dirge for good measure as well. There we go. And there you go. A cool looking team in my opinion. A very fun butt to mess around with. Love that he has the mercenary logo on there. So yeah, definite recommend for me to have at least one of these molds in your collection, whether it be Bug Bite or Hubcap or Cliff Jumper or even the movie Bumblebee if you must. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Ape out.